on. I act a fool when I go and perform, but I'm trying. What the fuck is he doing? Act like a groupie around me, he drawing. I told him to. And I need me to do. If I ain't get paid, I ain't doing the show. Shit, I'm finna. I ain't covering up.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. This your host, Trey. That's my homeboy and co-host, Face.
What up, world?
Hey, and we are finna come to you guys with a quick reaction to the Florida State versus LSU massacre. Yeah, we did that. We did that. I'm talking and everything, love. Everything, man. Everything that the LSU Tigers wanted, we gave it to them. If anybody remembers or anybody was paying attention, Brian Kelly made a mistake 24 to 48 hours prior to this game. He came out in the press and said that they are going to beat the heck out of Florida State. He said he was going to beat Florida State so bad that he was going to get the players backups. They were going to get plenty of time. He was going to bring 90 players with him.
I think we don't want to have. I think we don't want to have backups in the game. We don't want to have. So, Coach Kelly is nothing like Coach Prime. Coach Prime talking, back it up. Don't come down here talking about what you're gonna do to us.
Big fact.
Not Coach Prime, and you got your ass whacked.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Got the Tigers toe up. They turned their ass back in the kitty cat. Scalp their ass and turn around in the kitty cat.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord, man. So let's go ahead and start this off, man. So anybody who didn't know, LSU was down in Orlando, giving up 2 points to Florida State with the over-under set at 56.5. All right. Live on ABC. Started at 7:30 on the East Coast. So on the first drive, LSU comes down and one play they get 55 yards. Quick strike, 55 yards. James Daniels hits somebody. Then he hits Mason Taylor for a quick 10 yards. So now they're in the red zone. Problem is, they're in the red zone against the Florida State defense. And that Florida State defense biting, man. Stopped them. Okay, now, before we stopped them, we did get called for being too aggressive. All right, is what they kind of said it was. It was a personal foul, is what they called it, but they called it basically saying that we were too aggressive with our sack of the quarterback. Now, I don't know how you can be too aggressive when you're sacking a quarterback. I know you blew the whistle because it was a dead play, but we were already tackling him. It is what it is, because at the end of the day, guess what? You still went 4 and out after that. Gave Florida State back the ball. And you can't give Jordan Travis the ball. Because when you give Jordan Travis the ball, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how you play. They come out and do it all day, baby. Yeah. So despite getting a pass interference call on Johnny Wilson, I believe it was, we went down the field, 9 plays, 86 yards, took up 4 minutes, 1 second on the clock. All right, closed it with a 40-yard touchdown pass to Michigan State transfer Keon Coleman, baby. That's how we do, man. That's how we do, brother. You know, now you know Florida State up 7-0. Now, the biggest thing. Go ahead, Face.
To me, I'm gonna just be straight up. It was mismatches all out there, man. They couldn't match up with the size of the receiver. Then once they tried to match up and double cover him, that's when number 4 started getting open. That's why he had all the touchdowns. It was just a mismatch out there, man. Y'all couldn't match up on the outside. Y'all got good defensive line play from LSU, and they were stopping the run, making it hard.
So, Face, what you're saying is that corner Deuce Chestnut they brought in. You know, he did get an interception that they brought in from Syracuse, and then the
He
other
too
corner
little.
they brought in from
He too little.
I don't can't remember because it was some wrinkly dink little school. They too little, huh?
Man, the man's 6'7". And then if he jump and go and get the ball at the height, it ain't too many corners gonna be able to deal with that man one-on-one.
Yes, Lord.
They were lucky he dropped a couple of the easy passes early in the game. He
That's
dropped a
fact.
couple of easy passes, but he made up for it because he made some difficult catches where he held on to the ball after he took hits, and he did what he supposed to do. He's like a possession receiver. He hold the possession, get it in the play, get it in the field. Well, it's a quick strike for the other receivers. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's all he was doing. He was a possession receiver. He controlled the ball the whole game. All he had to do was go to the mismatch and control the ball the whole game. When he
Brother,
go to the other receivers, it's because he getting double teamed. They
that's
trying to
facts.
find somebody to match over the side, so it just opened up the field, man. They couldn't handle it.
Man, look, and there, like you were saying, with that mismatch, there was more than just that mismatch. We had the
Yeah.
mismatch with Johnny Wilson, 6'7", 235. We got the mismatch with number 4, Keon Coleman, 6'2" or 6'3", somewhere around 220. Then we got the mismatch with Jaheim Bell. He's 6'3", he 230, playing fullback slash tight end. So we really playing the H back. We got the mismatch when you talking about Perkins trying to hold my man Jordan Travis. All right, like look, I give all of the credit to that linebacker number 4 that they tried to ghost or tried to shadow my quarterback with. All right, he did his darndest that he could do. But at the end of the day, man, you know, this was the best game that Mike Norvell has ever called as a head coach, especially at Florida State. We're talking about a coach that was almost on the outs. Like literally last year, this time, it, before we beat LSU last year, he was on the hot seat. All right. So for him to come out and do what he just got done doing through the portal, all right, and then through getting his team properly prepared for this game and properly responding to the comments of one Brian Kelly, all right, with action on the field. Man, look, man, I am more than pleased. I'm more than pleased. I'm more than pleased. Even after watching them come back, and it was because it was a back to back. Everybody, it was a fight the whole game, especially the first half. Right, the first
I'm gonna
half,
say
it,
the
it was a
first half,
battle.
the only reason why it was even really a battle like that because the quarterback had to settle down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Jordan Travis was trying to do too much. He was trying to put too much heroics in the game instead of just, playing it how it's supposed to be played. He was trying to do too much. He was too amped up. So once they got to the halftime and they got him to settle down and look at the mistakes he was making in there, it was a whole different ball game. I just felt like he just needed to settle down a little bit. He was amped up. They all know it was. You could tell by the penalties they was getting, the late hits,
The
and
amount of
they really
penalties,
wasn't late hits. They
it,
were just
it
hard hits, and
hard hits.
they really wasn't late hits because
Yeah.
just like the dude right after they called a late hit on a sideline play, the receiver came back and did the same thing and spent them to the inside and got extra yards. So when them
Hmm.
players trying to get them players out of bounds and they hit them because they coming like that.
Yeah,
So sometimes it have he wasn't that far out of bounds for them to say that was really
brother. By by
a
halftime,
penalty.
by halftime, let me see. By halftime, Florida State had 5 penalties for 55 yards.
Yeah, they had 30.
No, I'm sorry.
They had
No,
a
I'm sorry. We had 6 penalties for 58 yards by halftime.
in one drive. At that one drive, they gave up 30 on two personal fouls.
Yep.
They gave up that they had only moved the ball 30 yards on their own, and we gave them 30 yards. That's when they end up
And
scoring at the end of that drive.
you could honestly look at the stat line at halftime and you could see that Florida State was dominating the game as far as defensively. All right. Yeah, the score might have been Florida State down 14-17 or whatever like that at halftime, I believe it was. Yeah, it was Florida State was down. Yeah, Florida State was down 14-17 at halftime.
17.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say
And
they were dominating.
no,
They were playing good,
when you
but
look at the
I can't
stats,
say they were dominating.
bro, when you look at the stats on how our offense was performing, all right, because we were performing as far as moving the ball down the field, we were doing it in succession, and our quarterback wasn't being forced to scramble for the yards. But then when you look at at what they were doing or what the yards were at halftime for Jaden Daniels, like Jaden Daniels at halftime, he went 11 for 22. He had 188 passing yards, but he had 10 carries for 58 yards. All right, that means your quarterback is under duress. That's not what you want to see if you think you're gonna win a game against a team like Florida State. All right. And when I see those types of numbers, that tells me that first off, the inaccuracies are being caused by the pressure that the quarterback is receiving. All right. And then outside of those inaccuracies, then your wide receivers aren't getting any separation from the corners fast enough to be able to beat that pass rush, giving the quarterback ample time to be able to succeed against a defense like this one.
I don't know because unless you are moving the ball now, it
No,
ain't
look,
like they weren't moving the ball.
no, look.
They just had some crucial turnover.
I'm not saying they wasn't moving the ball. I'm saying
Yeah.
how they were moving the ball. How they were moving the ball. The most receptions they had two receptions. All right, so they had Brian Thomas Jr. had three receptions for 45 yards at halftime,
Oh no,
and Malik Neighbors had two
listen.
for 24.
You
They
gotta
had the one
understand
dude,
something.
he caught the one pass and took it to the house for a 55-yard reception, Trey Bradford. Like that's how the
Listen,
ball was being moved.
Florida State, Florida State, and the quarterback play was
But consistent.
it was way no. The Florida State quarterback outplayed their quarterback by
Oh yeah,
far.
by
He
far.
had a shaky first half, but he still was just making a little small mental error. He
Yes, sir.
still was making plays and making more plays than the LSU quarterback. So it's like once he settled down, now you seen the difference. You feel what I'm saying? Because he already had certain plays he could have made. He was just making bad choices, bad decisions, trying to do too much.
On
So
some
once
of
he
them,
started making the right decisions, it just seemed easier. You seen it? He say that the defense fell apart. No, the defense didn't fall apart. He was picking the defense
it's
apart.
apart.
He
Yeah.
started taking what the defense was giving him. His playmaker was making plays, and it just opened it up.
Hold up. What really opened the game up was at the beginning of the fourth quarter when Ronaldo Green beats Malik Neighbors for that interception, man. Now, yeah, I think that was honestly the play of the game. I think that's what turned the tide, man, because at that time we were up 24-17, yes. But when he got that interception, because we had an offsides by Peyton, number 11. He came
Yeah.
offsides on the very next play, right? So on third down, FSU catches another penalty. Then number 11 Thomas Jr. for LSU gets the biscuit dropped in the basket, and he beats him on a long play. And then we go into the fourth quarter, and we get the fourth quarter. The very first play of the fourth quarter, Ronaldo Green beats Neighbors for an interception. And then we go on an 8-play, 57-yard drive where Mike Norvell calls the best drive of the game, leading Jordan Travis on a 7-yard touchdown pass to Keon Coleman for his third touchdown of the game, taking us up 31-17. And that's really where we started to just break away from them, man.
Yeah, you know, once you get that momentum, we already feel like this our home crowd. You still in
Yes, sir.
Florida. You know, this the weather we used to playing in. I know Florida, LSU ain't that far away, but it's just a different type of heat down here.
Yes, sir.
And these dudes, you know, they breathe and they bleed this football down here in Florida. So that fourth quarter when they kicking in and that heat, you know, it's a different thing. Them kids is ready for that. They playing this every day. So if you ain't in it every day like them, it's gonna show in the end. And
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's what also played a part.
Oh, that definitely played a major part, man. That definitely played a major part. Uh, now, as far as talking about where Florida State heads from here, okay, because at that point, Florida State took the game over, ended up 45-24 at the end. We gave up a one play, 75-yard touchdown to Brian Thomas Jr., but at the end of the day, we ended the game in victory formation, right? So, where does Florida State go from here? Because we know that Florida State's ranked number 8 in the nation, and they just beat what is LSU number 5 or something like that, number 7, number 6,
They were
somewhere
number
around there,
five.
number 5.
They were number five.
So we beat number 5. All right, we jumped to number 5 right now. Did we get up to number 6? Because of the way we won, does Ohio State fall because of how Ohio State lost? I mean, they beat Indiana, but at the same time, they didn't beat them like they should have. So, do they get punished for that? Like, these are all the things that I'm
I
intrigued to
think
see in the
I
next
think
week, brother.
I think we gotta move up because TCU lost. TCU lost, and somebody ain't TCU ranked.
They ranked. They're not above us, but they ranked.
It don't matter. It don't
Yeah,
matter
yeah,
if two ranked teams fall. The rank got to change.
yeah.
You know, especially if a single digit and you feel what I'm saying, a
Hmm.
5 or a 6, and then the day it gotta change.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be some changes, man. It's definitely going to be some changes, and I'm
Cause
looking
what's
forward to seeing them.
who Wyoming beat? Wyoming beat somebody. Who was that? I forgot
Yeah.
who Wyoming played.
No, yeah. Wyoming did just beat somebody. I honestly can't remember who it was either, but they beat the dog breaks off of them, and it wasn't even supposed to be a game like that, man. For real, for real. I know Josh Allen was doing a backflip wherever he was watching that game. But yeah, so I know Wyoming did their thing against whoever they did. Somebody lost, man. I can't remember who it is right now, but somebody lost to Wyoming, and that is a major loss for whoever that might be.
So, it looked like Baker Mayfield was playing the quarterback back
Hey man,
there.
one more quick question, man, before we get out of here, dog. When you watch how Florida State was able to put the pressure with what is obviously a top 5 offensive line and a top 5 defensive line. At least that's what they're ranked anyway. When you start looking in the books, you feel me? Looking the field steals and things like that. Florida State's top 5 offensive line, top 5 defensive line, or top 10 offensive line, top 10 offensive line. So when you're looking at what they just got done doing to an LSU team that is primed to repeat. All right, like they really are trying to repeat in the West and trying to go back to face Georgia again. Um,
Well, that
I,
that
is
that,
it,
that
I
just
think
made
it's
us down there possible.
I think Florida State's setting the table for themselves right now, man. But they
I'm
got
gonna
to
say I'm gonna say it like I'm gonna be straight up, man.
go
It's
ahead.
one game. It's one game. It's a good win, but you got a whole lot of football left. So y'all just gotta build off, like take this win and build off of it. Don't get too high on your high horses and think that this and that. You got to go out there every week and play. Because, just like it happened for them today, it could be us tomorrow if you don't go out there and play each game like you got to play the game. It's just don't take this win and think you could measure everybody else throughout the season by this. It was a good
Measuring stick.
Talent, yeah, it was a
Great
good
measuring
measure.
stick.
But at the same time, it's only one game, one win. Y'all got to continue it out throughout the season, man. Get better and stay healthy. You
You know
feel what I'm
what?
saying?
I'm glad you said that because last season, right? Florida State came out, beat LSU, and then still somehow ended up with 3 or 4 losses on the season. And it was losses that literally should not have happened. All right. So here's what's got to happen from this point on right now, right? Mike Norvell has come out. He's proven and shown that he has the ability to call a game consistently. That means from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. Because I've never seen him call a solid game from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. Normally, I'm yelling at the TV, I'm cursing at him, I'm going crazy because he is not calling good plays in succession. He's not setting players up for success. This year, I saw him doing that. Now, in this game, I saw him doing that, but the challenge is for him to continue this. Like, this is not something that Florida State fans, and yes, I'm wearing the jersey because I am a Florida State fan. All right, let's be clear about that. Everybody here should know that I'm a Florida State fan. So I'm trying to speak impartially, but at the same time, I got to speak honestly. You feel me? And honest to God, I can only tell you what I can tell you. And Mike Norvell has to repeat this action about 11 more games. After 11 more games of seeing him repeat this action, then I will be pleased with what I'm seeing from Florida State. But until then, I got to see him do this multiple games in a row because he does not have the ability, as seen in the past, to consistently put back to back great games, calling games, just like you just said, Faith. So I'm glad that you said that. Now, last but not least, man, before we get out of here, all right, the last video that we just got done recording and that we released earlier today, all right, I want to shoot a shout out and salute to every single individual who viewed that video because that had the most views out of every video we've ever had. Like that has gone for longer than 20 minutes. So I really appreciate every single one of y'all for putting in the time and showing the love of watching these videos. All right. But I do have to ask you, man, we need some more subscribers. All right. Once
Like,
again, like,
click, and subscribe, man.
facts. Because at the end of the day, like I told you previously, out of everyone that watches this, probably about 93% from what the analytics are telling us are not subscribed. So please, like, subscribe. Trust me, you will get good information on this channel. All right. I'm about to show you guys what I did in this last week on the ESPN fantasy game spread against the spread picks. I went, you know, just a little light 7-3, light 7-3, and that's with an over and up. That's with picking the over under in a game too. You know, so that's really 7-2 really. You know, but better than 93 percentile or 97 percentile. You know, I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna let y'all see that so you can see I'm spitting facts right now, and I'm not capping. I do no capping on here, you guys. I do no lying, no falsifying. I don't take stands and all that. So I don't do none of that. You know what I mean? But like, subscribe, come back, get some picks, make some money. Have a blessed night, man. Stay safe. I'll holler at y'all.